What is up, kitty cats? Mga kuring, good morning, Philippines. Good evening,
Good
Philippines.
evening.
Good evening, Singapore, and good morning, U.S.
LA.
California. So, we're like the three of us are like just literally woke up and like a bit tired.
Our
So
heads are in the clouds right now.
mm, like we have four watching now. Thank you so much for watching. All four of you, you rock. You're awesome. You are the loyalist. You are the channel's loyalist. Okay,
True, that's true.
wait for it, Matt. So wait for it.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
just wait for it. The kitty cats will be there. I know it.
Heck,
I know it.
heck,
They will, they will.
They will. I know it.
They'll be here in a
See?
bit.
Hi and happy listening to my cousin Elia Cam Rekimonte. Thank you so much for watching, guys. So we're not introducing you until we got like at least 100 viewers.
cool.
Which
We are not
should
introducing
come
you
in a
until we
bit.
got like 100 viewers. That's for sure.
Heck yeah. Gonna
Fuck
sit and
the
wait
s-
or
Yeah, fuck the stream. We'll wait for them.
well,
Yeah, we don't want to introduce
We
you
got
to
5
people
now.
and
We only need
everybody
95.
comes
You got
in.
8. You got 8 now. So yeah, chill.
Keep
So
coming in.
right, like I'm like a little hungry. So I hope you guys don't mind me like taking a bite.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
snack it up, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Get it in. Get it in.
So, how was your day, your night, Matt?
Yeah. How about you, Matt?
Oh man, it was good. I had a couple friends over. I'm in town, hometown right now for my sister's wedding. So my buddies came
Nice.
over last night and might have had a couple of drinks and might have gone to bed at midnight.
We're we're not actually saying your name until we got like 100 viewers. So you are literally unknown now. Even though we have your name on the title, they don't know you. They don't know you. So
I got a lot of names. I got a
yeah,
lot of
yeah, they don't know you. Anyway, hi, Tan Andrew Leonard. Thank you so much. What's up? Thank you so much, Scarlett, brother Scarlett. Anyway, I would like to like say thank you and to Horace. How do you pronounce this? Horace English Online and Horace Multimedia. And I would also like to inform everyone that this episode is in partnership with Dernubs. It's what do you call this? It's a
Record studio?
jam. It's a Dernubs recording studio. So check them out, guys. They are in the Philippines. So if you got like a chance, Matt, yeah. If, I won't say your name yet. I
Who?
won't say your name yet. So if you got a chance, bro, to go to Ilo, check out Dernub Studio. I know that you've been into music as well, so we'll talk about that later. But anyway, thank you so much, Dernub Studio, for in partnering with us. Okay,
Thank you.
Heavenly Radio. Good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, Nunay-tan, thank you so much. So we got 9 viewers, Matt. So we only need 81 to introduce you, bro. I mean, bro, you're not Matt yet.
I'm just the guy that looks. I'm just the guy that looks like him. He's
Yeah,
still getting ready.
yeah, you're the evil twin brother. So,
Something like that. Yeah.
anyway, do you love Filipino food?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what we got here is what we call palabok. Palabok, like a
What is
noodle.
it?
It's like a
What is it?
noodle with some ground beef and some shrimp and some
Chicharron.
chicharron and then some ginamos.
Nice.
Yeah, ginamos is like a
Pretty
chili
cool.
paste. I like a
Shrimp paste.
shrimp paste.
That's rad. But I just learned how to make talong the other day.
Mm,
Oh,
Talong.
nice.
Wow, huh?
Nice.
Your Tagalog is so good, huh? Do you want us
Fire.
to converse with you in Tagalog? Huh?
I only know maybe like
I know.
like your armpit or something like that, right? And that's a couple. I only know a couple. Well, my girlfriend's Filipino, so
Oh, girlfriend's
that's why.
Filipina, huh? Your
That's
girlfriend's
half.
Filipino or Filipina? What? Which
Filipino.
one?
You know, it's California, right? Let's
Ooh, we got 10 watching, now we got 9.
That's hilarious.
Whoever heard that one went
Philip-
out.
He's Filipino, yeah. It's actually his cousin.
Yeah, she's my cousin. It's pretty cool. I know Matt went vegan like, was it a year ago or 2 years ago?
Almost, yeah, a year and a half.
A year and a half? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but yeah, I learned how to make that
Oh.
talong.
Talong.
Super bomb.
Wow.
That's-
How about adobo? Like adobo?
Yeah, I make tofu adobo. Yeah,
Oh,
What?
sick. That's
Yeah.
sick.
it's bomb.
Pretty cool. Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I make it all the time. Yeah,
Yeah, in the Philippines we adobo everything like
Yeah. Eggs. We do
what is
adobo
that?
eggs.
Sup like it's like a
Sup,
leaf.
sup.
Kind of like green beans.
oh yeah.
Sup,
Yeah.
sup, it's not
Or
beans.
string beans? Is it string beans?
Yeah, string like a string bean.
beans, yeah.
It actually it's like from the suba. Call this,
From the
kangkong,
river.
kangkong, kangkong. Kangkong is
Kangkong
an English word,
is a
right?
Spinach. No, kangkong is a spinach.
No, it's the
Let me
word.
Google it. Let me Google it.
I think kangkong is. I don't know.
I know it's a spinach. Or if you Google it, it just says spinach. But on Wikipedia, it's called Ipomoea aquatica.
Fuck.
It's
Too much.
probably
That's
why
too
you
much.
find it close to the river. Aquatica.
Aquatica. Yeah, aquatica symbolizes the river, so yeah, get a lot of kangkong in the river. I don't know if it only goes to the river. Elia Kim is saying spinac. She's saying spinac. Spinach. Spinac. I always call spinach like spinac. Spinac. Like German accent. Woo! Woo! Hyped up already, huh?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got about 5 minutes to go before we wake up. So
Are you watching the YouTube channel right now, Matt? I mean, bro.
I am. I'm still on the chat. Do I need to go over to the YouTube?
No.
no.
It's okay.
Cool.
Okay.
That's how you're reading that's how you're reading people's.
If you're in the restream, I think it won't matter if you like browse through the YouTube.
Okay.
If you just want to check out the YouTube,
The live
I know.
comments.
yeah,
You could probably check
the
it out on
comments or
your
something.
phone.
It
God,
it's hard to intro in the Hanai right now. My English
My
is
English is
buffering.
buffering.
It it makes my elong to go a little. So what you're saying is like he'll get like a nosebleed. His nose will bleed for speaking English.
Oh, that's funny.
it's funny. English is hard. It's funny because people think everyone who's American thinks English is so easy. You know,
Yeah,
like
I know,
so
I
easy to think
know.
now it's like really hard.
yeah, they
So,
are. I'm having as well a hard time speaking in English. I'm not that what do you call this?
What?
If you don't know how to speak English, then this is the way the Filipino goes. If they don't know how to to express themselves, then they would say, "What do you call this? How do you call this?" it's always it's always like that. So if they don't know how to say it in English, oh, what do you call this? How do you call this? Fuck.
Or a lot of people just act dumb and they'll be like, yeah, yeah.
And the, and one fucking problem with that is that if you try to like fluently speak in English, some people from the Philippines will say you're overacting, you're OA, you're trying hard. Because trying hard in Philippines is like a bad word. Then
Yeah.
but then again, if you speak like stone, they call it stone, bato, stone English, like and
Stone
they
English.
will also criticize you for not fluently speaking in English. So where the fuck am I gonna be in? Or what do you call this? How do you say it in English?
Well, this is our only second episode in English. We started off speaking in our native language, which is Ilonggo. Tagalog is like the national language of the Philippines. Ilonggo is the language that we speak in the island that we're from.
Yep. I like
So
it's like a
this is the second time.
native
Yeah.
language from like Philippines has like a lot of languages like
Dialects. Yeah.
dialects, different variations. We
Yes.
got like Tagalog, we got Ilonggo, we like Cebuano, we have like a lot, like
Hmm.
yeah, a lot,
But I feel
and with
like
different
Cebuano.
accents and different
Yeah, different
accents.
accents. Yeah.
But
But they call everything else dialects. So
yeah,
huh?
yeah. But I
Interesting.
believe in US, it don't matter if you like have the accent or not, right? Like
no.
if you're like a Mexican or if you're like a Chinese or an Asian and you like or an Indian and you like speak in English in US won't matter, right?
No.
Won't matter.
No.
Only in the
Nobody.
you get that only in the
Yeah.
Philippines that they will criticize
Yeah.
you for for trying hard. Trying hard is a bad word in Philippines. You're a trying hard person,
Oh gosh.
mm,
I
It's
guess it depends on,
pretty.
right.
Hmm.
right?
It depends on where you're from. I mean, like depends on what kind of trying hard. Sometimes
Yeah,
people,
it actually
if you're
depends on the sentence.
right? If you're trying too hard at anything, right? You probably should probably need to like if you're trying hard and doing good, but if you're trying hard and not doing it good, maybe you got
Yeah, yeah, correct. You are right.
Start thinking
Yeah, we
and
still have
try
nine
hard.
viewers. Eight, I mean. So we don't have our loyalist yet. They might be asleep as well, but I know they'll come. I know, I know. I can feel them. I can feel them coming. Like in about
Th-
like maybe 2 3 minutes, they will come. They will definitely
yeah.
come.
Yeah. They should be here any minute for sure.
Yes, yes, yes.
I got the stream up on my phone, so we're good.
Mm,
Nice.
We still
check him
have
out. Check him out.
yeah, at
We
least
have
check
That way
out.
you get to
seven.
see the.
We have seven. Yep. We have 7 viewers.
That's hilarious.
Woo! That's a lot. Thank you so
What up,
much,
world?
7 viewers. You rock. You rock.
Thank you guys.
Now we got viewers. Here they come, Matt. Check him out. Check him out. Check him out. So what we got here today, my friends, our friends, kitty cat friends, loyalists. We got Mattison Boothe.
There we go.
What up?
356 watching now. I guess it's time.
How do you pronounce
Okay.
your last name, Matt?
Booth.
Booth.
Just Booth.
Hey guys, so we have Mattison Boothe here with us as our guest for today's episode. So can we like give him a big round of applause coming from the Philippines or anywhere in the world?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you hear them clapping, Matt? The
Thank you,
480
thank you,
people,
thank you.
they're clapping their hands right now. They are literally clapping their hands. Oh,
The slow clap, I can feel it. I can feel it.
yeah.
Actually,
457. Oh, there you go. Eliakim is clapping her hands.
that's
Hey,
Thank
awesome.
you.
everybody's
Wow,
playing
Janus
clap
clapping
your
his
hands
hands. Thank you so much, Janus. Okay, now we'll skip this song, one song only. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do our main topic for today, which is van life. So we feature Matt. How do I call you now? How do you, what do you want me to call you, Matt? Like Matty, Matt, Buddha, Buddha. Because if you like say your last name in the Philippines, this no offense. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you get offended, but if you like pronounce your name, if I'm from the Philippines and I pronounce your name, where are you, Matt? Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So if I pronounce your name and I'm a Filipino, I will say like Buddha. Yeah, Buddha. Buddha.
Like on my phone, they'll be like, "What?" It's like boo the. Just put it together.
No, I'll do it like Buddha.
Six letters.
So
Boothe.
many people butchered my name, like especially my first name being Mattison. Because it's usually a girl's name, right? Like with 2
Oh.
D's, but I have
Yeah.
2 D's. People call me all. Don't worry, I am not easily offended. So you can say
Okay.
pretty much
Nice.
whatever you want, especially to me. You can,
Whatever I want, huh?
I'm a redhead, right? Redheaded stepchild.
Ah, nice.
So you're a
Matt-
redhead. What are your roots?
I am mainly Irish, from
Ooh.
like the most northern part of Ireland. That's where my family like last was from in England.
Oh,
And
Irish.
Nice.
Irish.
Before that, I was French German is the next.
Ooh.
French,
and then-
German.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Scandinavian. I'm like 5%
Whoa.
Scandinavian.
Wow.
What?
Lot, huh?
Viking.
Vikings.
Hence the
Viking blood.
So you're
Yeah.
a Viking and you are like a UFC guy, a Viking,
Like-
a UFC.
McGregor.
Yeah, you're Irish, right? So McGregor is Irish. So
Conor
all Irish
McGregor.
are UFC players.
So funny. I love watching UFC. I don't fight, but I like to watch it.
Yeah, I like to watch as well. I like to
It's
watch
fun.
as well. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. So you are on your van right now, right?
Yeah, we're hanging out in the van.
Yeah. Can you show us the van?
Sure.
Yeah, give me a second. I'll put you on the highlights so everyone can like. There you go.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
What up, everybody? I'll give you a little tour of we call this the Nimbus.
Nimbus.
Built this van out. Took about 6 months to build it, but we'll give you guys the tour.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Well, this is the first part of the tour. We got Callie here. She's the one that's like, she's the road dog,
Hey.
right?
Wow.
Hey, Callie.
12-year-old pit bull that I rescued. She's awake. She's like, "Why are we up right now?" And I'm just kidding. I was like, "It's important." Oh, all right. Well, here's the kitchen. Try to do this best I can. As you guys can see, it's a little dark in here, but you can see the 2-burner stove right here.
Mm-hmm.
I could light it up. So, like, if I wanted to have some food or some coffee or something, I can just turn it on the stove, heat stuff up. There's propane tank that runs to that.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little fridge down here, so you got your kitchen, you got your fridge, got some storage.
Ooh.
Nice little storage spot, the sink in the kitchen. So like everything in here is like eco-friendly, So all these lights, anything you see, like the fan, the power outlets, like I got things like actual plug-ins and stuff. They're all off solar. So I can't get up on the roof.
So
I was
you're
able
off
to
the
get
grid?
Yeah.
Like
No,
right now?
100%. Yeah. I mean, other than being streaming online. They can find me. They can find me.
Wow.
But yeah. So that's the kitchen. You can see that's the hangout area / bedroom. So these two pieces will slide together. We built this bed, so the whole entire back half of the van is a bed, but it converts into couches during the day. So
wow, nice.
Yeah. Always fun. Nice little table. The oscillating table here moves around, so you can kind of like maneuver around in and out.
Oh.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff in here. Like we did this whole thing by hand. Every screw, every piece that you see is cut and drilled, and it was a lot of work, but it's super fun now that it's done.
By yourself, Matt?
No, my really good friend, actually, my childhood friend who we went to school together. He's just super talented. I could have never done this by myself. He's got all the skills. He's an electrician. He knows how to make the cut. So he taught me he built one out, and then he taught me how to do this one. So
wow,
he helped me through the whole process. He's such a good guy. I was gonna show you guys probably the most interesting part. Everyone always gets a kick out of this. The toilet. Got the restroom here, so making road trip during COVID time real easy when you don't have to go use someone's bathroom because they tell you that.
Yeah,
I got my own.
I was about to ask you about that. Nice.
Yeah. That's a gray water toilet. Basically, there's no water involved. It just separates it. So there's two different places that one goes and the other goes. That way they don't mix, because that's when it becomes bad.
Yeah.
So basically you got like a trash can and then like a little gas tank that has a funnel that goes into it. So it's
so is there like different flushes? You flush one for the liquid and the other one for the solids, or how does it separate it?
It just separates it. So there's you got just a trash can with a trash bag behind it, and then you got a literal little gas tank in the front, and there's like a it's like a toilet seat, right? But the front, you have to sit down. That's the reality of this one. It's like you have to sit, and when you sit, there's like a little catch in the front that if you have to go number one, well, it drains right in there, and then there's a hole in the back, and you have this this composting material that you cover. If you go the number 2 side, then you're gonna cover that up with the smell, and then we cut a vent in the floor of the bathroom, so when you use the restroom, you can turn it on. It has a push fan that pushes the air out of the van.
Nice.
Nice. And it's a composting toilet, right?
Yeah, it's gray water. It's a gray water toilet, so you can literally you can pour off the pee and wherever you want, and then the other bag you just throw it in a trash can.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
The one thing I like is that thing right behind you. The right up that wood where you put that right there.
Yeah.
That guy.
What's that?
that's a hangboard for climbing. So I mean, I can give you a little example of what you do with it. But basically, it's a training tool for climbing, for rock climbing. So you kind of just gonna get like stretched out. Like say you're at some place where you want to get warmed up because like you're outdoor climbing, you don't get a lot of time to like. You can stretch, you can do all that, but it's hard to warm up your hands. So you can come over and you literally, it's called a hangboard, and you just hang, and you can. There's different holds you can move to. You can do pull ups. You know, so it's kind of just a tool to get your hands, strengthen your hands on off days if you have the ability to climb or you know, get warmed up before you go out.
Wow, nice. So did you like practice first in the trees before going for the rocks?
I was in the trees. I was in the mountains. You know, I was in the ocean. I was everywhere, man. It's like Rocky.
No, I mean the climbing. I mean the climbing. You went for the trees first because for us, for me, I went for the Cerisa first. The tree, yeah, Cerisa tree. Before
for a rock for sure.
There's not much, but there's not much rocks in my hometown, so I only have the trees to climb.
But there's a lot of stones.
Yeah. Not a lot of, but there's a lot of stones there.
People get in the stone.
Literal stones.
Right.
Literal stone, yeah. They kind of like burn it and get high off it.
Yeah, that's that stone. That kind of stone.
That's hilarious. Yeah. There's like there's no rocks out there, huh? Because it's like
yeah, we got like some mountains and cliffs to climb as well, but not the whole, like just a certain part of Philippines maybe. I'm not a climber as well, so I'm just
I'd say the rocks there are like pretty tropical, so they kind of look like almost like corals, right?
Oh yeah,
it's not like big boulders.
Yeah,
it's like sharp and kind of looks like corals.
And we have limestone as well.
That's good rock. Yeah, that's what you want to climb.
Limestone.
But the limestone in the Philippines, they use it for the road.
Oh, smart. It's strong.
Strong.
It's very strong. It's good.
Yeah.
That's why climbers climb on limestone. It's like it's considered the best quality because it doesn't break and it doesn't chip.
Yeah, it will be hard. But I thought that if you like if it's wet and then it gets like slippery limestones.
Yeah, you don't want to climb when it's wet out. Climbing is kind of like a cold.
Yeah.
You climb when it's dry and really cold. You know, like if it's raining, you're not. Yeah, you can pull holds off. I mean, I've climbed in rain, like literally, like at the climbing, and I grab a hold and it just like the whole thing just comes off the wall. Like you'll pull like chunk off the wall. Yeah.
What?
So, yeah.
Scary.
You have like a rope as well, Matt, right?
I don't have a rope anymore. I used to have a rope. I don't gear up on as much. I only do free climbing at this point. Nothing that's like, you know, I'm not going really over.
No
25.
harness, no ropes, no harness.
Freedom.
Freedom is dangerous, Matt. Freedom is dangerous.
It is.
It's adrenaline rush right there.
Have you watched the cliffhanger? You watched the cliffhanger, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I like that movie as well.
Or
Alex
what's
movie?
that? 48 hours with James Franco, or is it 112 hours?
128.
What is that?
I think
128 hours.
Yeah, I think 128 hours.
Yeah,
James Franco, right?
where he got his
the feet,
the leg stuff.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Crazy.
Yeah, no.
But that was a true story, right? The 128 hour or 148 or I don't know.
Leg off. That was. Ugh.
Yeah.
Scary.
So back to your van. It took 6 months to make. When you got it, it was empty. Was it empty?
Yeah, bare, like nothing. Like it was just like it was actually. It had it had no seats in it other than the front. It was just pure like if it wasn't actually I could show you guys right here. It literally all looked like this material. Like if you can see this white, like just like bare, like a bare van material.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then we basically first step was adding this kind of, I don't know if you guys, it's kind of hard to see, it's dark in this corner, but there's this like material called lizard skin.
Lizard skin.
Yeah, and it's like a ceramic. It's
Oh,
basically like an insulation that's like made of little bits of ceramic, and you
like a
spray.
housing.
Yeah, exactly. And we sprayed every inch that's back here with that first, was the first layer, and that kind of keeps the van from rusting over time, and it maintains heat or cold. You know, as insulated. So that was the first step, and then after we did that, we did a spray foam. Like I don't know if you guys have ever seen the one.
Yeah.
It mixes the two together and it comes out all crazy.
Yeah.
The whole thing with two. We had to go for 2 rounds of that, and then once we were done with that, you start with your floor first. You lay your foundation, and then after we did that, then we laid the real flooring down, which I don't know if you guys can see my floor here, but it's an actual like nice wood, like it's waterproof. It's a life-proof floor, so it's like proof, waterproof, water resistant, all that. So you can kind of go out and, you know, like we go out places and bring the dog.
You just custom cut everything?
Everything we got, even the cab, because we did get the cabinets, like these upper cabinets that you see over here, like these let's karate chop that. All right, see, this is these guys are made from IKEA, but like the outside framing, we did
chopped
that.
it.
We had to custom, like if you could probably barely see it, but if you could look at angles, right?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah,
because the whole van, once we got started, we realized that it from the front to the back it tapers. So we had to think about like different things of the way we would cut it, because it was different from the front side to the back. So everything had to get like tapered in, and there were so many little things along the way, but it was so much fun after doing it. But yeah, every piece was like, you know, we cut it, we did something to it.
Okay, now Matt, some van lifers, you call it van lifers. Some
Van
people
lifers?
do it like to save money, right? Save money. They do a van life. But how much does a van cost, and how much does like a total cost for the customization? Roughly.
It would probably, so if you just wanted to get a brand new, because it depends on what route you want to go, right? Because I went with the like, I'm buying a brand new van, I'm making payments on the van, and it's like, you know, 2019 Transit. It's got all the bells, and not all the bells and whistles, but it's like basically driving a car. Like it's a huge van that feels like I'm driving a regular car. So backup cameras, all that. You could get a cheaper van, but like if you want to know my van build out in particular, basically a brand new one of these vans is like $60,000 first off the bat.
Not bad.
Not too bad for what I got. And then I got a deal on it because I have a family friend who works for Ford, so they got like a package that they give for families and friends. So I ended up spending about $47,000 on this with that deal. So I got the deal. But then there's all the other things like, you know, building and all the parts and time, and then helping pay my buddy to help me, and, you know, doing like food for everything we're working on the van. But I probably put about, I'd say $15,000 or $20,000 into the van, something like that. After everything, because you know, the solar panels, the most expensive part of the van that everybody always forgets about is the batteries, right? Because you got to have store that power from the sun on the solar panels. So I've got 4 100-hour lithium-ion batteries in the van that basically run. It's the heart of the van that controls everything. Like I could run a blender in here. I can pretty much
like
the fridge,
washing machine, air condition. Could not.
I
No.
wish.
Um,
Okay.
Do you
It's
have your fridge on like 24/7, man?
I don't. I actually have it on a switch because the fridge I have is like it sucks a lot of power, so I have to like monitor it. So usually I'll run it all day till the sun goes down, and because when the sun goes down, you stop charging. So that's when you start to lose your battery, which you can. I'll show you guys. You can see my little like. So here is like the unit here. I don't know if you can see this little thing here, but it'll tell you. Sorry, the battery. There we go. That tells you what your like my battery is on my van.
Is
So
that
you
what,
can see,
like
Oh
90%?
yeah, I can see.
So that's actually the voltage, right? Because you want things
Oh,
to
that's
be
the
like
voltage.
like 12 volt. So I've got 12.95 volts and three batteries left out of it. And usually I can last if I don't run the fridge. I mean, I won't even dip below. I won't dip at all. Like my thing will never dip. But when I run the fridge is when it starts to dip.
It starts going down.
Yeah.
But during like the daytime when the sun is up and you have the fridge on, does the power still go down?
No, it'll just peak at like 13.50 volts, and it'll be full charge the whole day as long as it's sunny. So there's some days if it's like you're at like the beach or it's foggy or it's a rainy, cloudy day, like you won't charge. So if like you're in a van, sometimes like even if you're parked under a tree, right? Say you park your van somewhere for the day and you go out to go do something. Like we used to go do stuff, right?
Right.
You park your van and you leave it, and all of a sudden you're in the shade for half the day. You might not get a charge either. So like that's stuff that you have to think about, like where you're parked.
So if in that case, what do you do, Matt?
Drive the van to the sun. or
just
you
back
can
it up.
save the
Just
power.
back it up a bit.
Yeah.
Get out
Or
of
you
the
conserve
shade.
your power. You just got to conserve the power and use it sparingly. Just for like your phone and some people actually have a chart. Like I could have done this, but we didn't put it in. You can wire it so that the batteries charge off of your battery from the van, so you can start the van.
Yeah.
And charge your batteries as
Yeah.
you drive. I don't have that option, but I think my buddy's building another one right now. My buddy Josh, he's just incredible. I mean, the guy's like got so much skill when it comes to
Yeah,
putting
Josh is really, really awesome guy.
the vision, having that vision, man. Like being like, I'm looking at a blank van, but I know what this is gonna look like at the end. You're like, I was sitting there like, I don't know what we're doing, man. Like, what are we gonna? How's it gonna be when we're done? And all of a sudden, it's like, all right, it's done. It's gonna be like a couple of weeks. It's like 6 months. Goes.
So your van is like Josh's. Did he do the blueprints to everything, or was it kind of like both your brains smashed in together?
Him, and then is actually my girlfriend and his ex-girlfriend now actually help with the layout. So we built the layout on IKEA site, like literally. You can do like put the square footage into the IKEA like thing, and then you can build your layout around that square footage. So that's how we figured out.
Really?
Because that's raised at the back, right? So like my van goes for space situations. You can see like there's a step up, right? So the step up underneath there's the garage. So in the back, we basically, the first measurement we made for this back area underneath, which I would show you, but it's dark outside, so you wouldn't be able to see that much. But we measured the climbing pads first. So the climbing pads fit underneath like this side of the van where you guys are, where the computer's over here, but there's a space underneath this little slot where you saw that step up for my climbing pads. There's also a battery, and the heart of the van is right in the middle here, which I got a little pop up that I can like pull the little the flooring up, and then I can unscrew it, and then all the batteries and everything and all the stuff that monitors the power all in one place. And then next to that's on the other side underneath where I'm sitting is a 25-gallon water tank.
And that's for your sink?
Yeah, I got a little foot pump sink. I can give you guys a little example. So this is like a custom piece that we built. My sister's
fiance's, actually on Saturday they'll be married, but he welded this thing together. We just got these pieces at Home Depot and welded it. But you know, there's a foot pump sink, so save water, but the water can come out. Exciting stuff.
Wow.
And then there's a
little catch basin in the bottom that it comes in, and basically when you're about full of that 5 gallons, you just pull it out. It's gray water, and you just go pour it out and you start again. But if you forget to pour it out, that's when things get weird.
It starts spilling out, huh?
You come back here and be like, after driving somewhere, just be like, oh shit, I forgot to check it. It's like all over the floor, like it's all like your sink water. You're just like, this is horrible. There are some downsides to van life. You better be like small spaces and being alone.
Yeah.
And spilling water. Yeah. Oh, dude, so many things. Because I'm like 6'1" with like a 6'5" wingspan. And I can stand in the front part of my van, not where I'm at right now where we're sitting, but you're always sitting here. But like, can't tell you how many cups of coffee I've knocked over or hitting my head on things, like getting that. Dude, you get up real quick. You're just like banging them. Oh my god, what happened? You learn not to wear a hat in the van.
But how is it driving the van with all the stuff in it? Because like, for sure it made the van really heavy. So is it different with the braking? Does it feel heavier with everything in it?
You know, it's really it's not too much different, to be honest. It doesn't feel much different because it's such a newer van, and a lot of these vans are meant for doing deliveries and being loaded all the time anyway. This is a 350 T350 EcoBoost, so it's got the V6. It's got the twin turbocharger in there to give it a little extra. So like this thing, yeah, I got the smaller one too, which is like, well, the mid. It's like they make one that's about 3 feet extended with dually tires, which mine's just like, I wanted it a little smaller because I was using it in San Francisco, so I wanted to be able to like at least have a few options for parking, you know?
Yeah.
You can't put this thing into a parking garage.
What are you talking about? A van in San Francisco? Where do you find parking?
Right. Yeah. It's interesting. I would never stay in San Francisco down there, but yeah, the parking is insane.
It's horrible. People don't even have cars up there.
No, people don't. It sucks to drive. It's the worst. People complain like, oh, LA is really bad. I will say LA's rush hour is worse, but overall, per capita, San Francisco, the craziest drivers, like hands down.
True.
You just see people doing some off the wall shit, and you're just like,
right?
Like they're just like whoa, coming by you, like, oh, dude, you drive through Oakland, people just flying.
You see people going into one-way streets in San Francisco. It's horrible.
That's that. If you don't know your way around downtown, like I had to learn that the hard way a few times, and you learn really quick which ways to go and which way. It's confusing. It's super confusing.
That's how it is when you're in danger. You remember everything.
Yes. Be careful. It's awesome.
So, you live in your van full time, like 24/7.
Yeah. Yes. I actually not as much these days. I did for a year. Oh. That was a whole year out there. The COVID really would kind of push me out of that situation because I was just I was sleeping outside the climbing gym every week. I would just sleep in the parking lot. I knew all the people there. I would just go work during the day, and I would just come park there and just hang out. There's other guys in vans. I met them, and I'd climb. I'd wake up in the morning. There's a shower. There's a sauna. It was nice. It was like, only like a $70 a month membership to have it there, and they've got 10 different places I could go and park my van, and kind of like a little bit of rent, but that was all I would pay for. But that kind of stopped because the gym shut down. I would park at it shut it all down, And then I was just kind of we were down in LA for my lady's birthday. She wanted to go back up to Humboldt because that's where that's where we met, and that's where we've lived a lot. Like probably most of our adult life is up in Humboldt, far northern California. And
Hippie
we got up
country.
there. Yeah, we got up there, and it just everything shut down literally like 2 days after we got there. So we just kind of hung out at her. There's an older couple at their farm on their ranch. They have an apartment that they let her stay at, and we hung out there for like 5 months.
Wow.
Like didn't go anywhere. Like we
5
just
months?
Yeah, we were just hunkered down on this. Like
Living in the van.
I was in the van, yeah, for that time. She would hang out in the apartment. I'd come up and work in the van, so we'd have like our little separate spots during the day, and then we'd make dinner at night and hang out and cuddle a little bit and go our separate ways. All right, we're good. We're making it through. But yeah, it's nice when you have that extra little bit of space, right? It's like I had my own space, she had her own space, which a lot of people weren't gifted with that during the
Yeah.
pandemic. A lot of people broken up or not. They're not friends anymore. It's like
not friends anymore.
People hate each other now. Yeah, we made it through. It was tough at times, but we made it through that situation. And honestly, having the van made it that much easier because it was like, oh, if we wanted to go up to the river, or if we wanted to just get away, or just go to the beach and park it and open up the back doors and sit there and have a lunch, like we could. And the van made that a lot easier. But we kind of, the reason that I got a place now is just because there's not any real options. They're kicking van squatters out of the cities, and COVID with all the confusion. I was just like, it might just be time to get a place. We got another dog, having 3 dogs in the van. We do it, but like it's a lot sometimes. And I mean, the real reason I didn't have the van was really born for climbing, obviously, and for adventure. But I'm a traveling sales guy most of the time when things are normal, and it was really beneficial for that because I could just be on the fly all the time. If I have a meeting, I can just go drive and park and wait if I'm early. I can hang out and make some food. I can take a nap. I got my whole life here, so whatever I want to do, I take my dog for a walk, kill time. And
just bring your house wherever you go.
Seriously, like you're never in a rush. There's traffic. Oh, I'm just gonna pull off and just hang out and wait till it's done. I don't have to sit here and wait for it to go through.
Yeah,
that's pretty
convenient.
I'm gonna get home. I can rush.
Yeah, really convenient. Yeah, convenient for you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because most people like after work, when it hits rush hour, when you get out at like 5 or 6, you don't want to go home. You don't want to be stuck in traffic. So people just kind of hang out, chill for like 3 hours, 4 hours before they head home. Well, you got your home outside work.
Yeah, outside work.
Pretty
chill. Literally in the parking lot. Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah, just pull up wherever you want. Yeah, you just find a cool spot. Yeah, like that's why whenever it's pretty much like a time manipulation machine, right? It's like you don't have to worry about it's nice when you're in a city to have a thing like this, I think, because there's not a lot of extra time, because all the extra time is put into getting to where you're going, finding parking, oh, I'm waiting in line for this, I'm waiting for that. It's always about like waiting. So this whole the van's all about just like chilling and not worrying about being in a rush. It's all about just like taking your time, and you got everything you need. So where else do you need to be? That's why I'd hang out at the parking lot of the climbing gym and just be in my van most of the time, It's
so how is it when it's a hot day and you're just parked out in the heat? Does the van heat up, or does the solar panels help?
No, it gets hot in here. It'll get warm. Usually you want to, on those kinds of days, you want to either not be in the van or you want to be like driving towards cooler weather.
Yeah.
LA is rough. I think LA summer in the van, and honestly, you gotta have like all the doors open. If you can catch a breeze and have the doors open and the fans on, it's not too bad. But if you get caught, not one of the doors isn't fully insulated yet, And even when we didn't have it all insulated, oh my God, it would get so hot. It would get so hot so fast. But now it's like I know how to manage it and watch the, you just kind of watch the weather and you kind of know what
Yeah.
to game up for. But there's no AC in here unless you turn the front on, which sometimes we just do that. We'll just turn the front on full AC for a little while, just run the van and just leave the AC on for a little bit. But luckily,
And
where I'm
does the
now,
front AC cool the whole van?
it will, yeah, as long as it's not like scorching already. If you catch it early, that's the trick.
Okay.
But I don't have
Mm.
that problem with anymore right now because it's winter time and I don't live in LA anymore.
True.
So,
Oh, you don't live in LA anymore?
oh no, you didn't know that?
I thought you guys were. Wait, you drove down here, right?
I'm in
Humboldt?
Santa Barbara, but yeah, we got a house up in Humboldt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
we're
you guys
Oh.
are living in Humboldt now.
In Humboldt now, huh?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Humboldt.
back to
Hey, it's pretty
grassroots,
chill.
the grassroots. Yeah,
How is it up there? What's
it's
the lifestyle up there?
it's
Or
my favorite.
culture?
It's my favorite place, man. I've been to every state in the United States except for 2, and I've lived in like 10 different states here. And honestly, I mean, California is my favorite, just for the region.
Mhm.
But honestly, at Humboldt's like it's super mellow. Like it's definitely you're in the sticks, right? So there's like a lot of like redneck people and things like that too. I have to like
Uh-huh.
watch her out. You're like, okay, there's some crazy people up here, but they're but for the most part, there's like really good people. There's really healthy, good food, clean air. It's just like imagine just like a rainforest of like redwood trees that look like dinosaurs were walking through it right next to the ocean. Pretty much, pretty much.
What?
Yeah,
But in the
big
summer, does
trees.
it get warm?
Yeah. If you where we live, it'll probably get up to the high of like maybe 80, maybe 90 if it's a
Okay.
hot day. But if you drive
Okay.
like 20 minutes inland, you'll get 100-degree, 120-degree weather with like nice
Oh, that's
rivers.
like LA.
Yeah. Yeah, but you only go in there to inland like that to go to the river during the summer, really. You know, but
Mhm.
I'd say that that's probably going to the river, going to the beach, and doing hiking in the forest is probably the main things to do up in Humboldt. I would say, other than probably smoking weed, which most people are
Smoking
probably
weed.
with
Growing weed too. Growing weed.
where that's where that is mostly originated from. People know Humboldt for that for sure. It's true too.
So
I'll let you know.
how long have you lived there in Humboldt?
I first moved to Humboldt in 2006, uh, right after I graduated high school to go to college up there. So when I was 17, going on 18, I moved up there until about 2011, and then I ended up moving back home, getting a job, and then I got my own place down here for a couple of years, and then my buddy called me one day and was like, "Hey, bro, like I got a job for you. If you wanted to like help us in our grow and do some other things for us, we'll pay you $20 an hour and give you a free place to live." And I was like, at the time, working this shitty insurance job, paper pushing,
Uh-huh.
like pressing buttons all day, doing data input, and not really enjoying my quality of life doing that. And I just was like, I put my 2 weeks in, and I just went back, and the rest is history.
Started
I've been,
working with weed, huh?
yeah. And I
Perfect.
started
And that
doing
was
that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
what year? What year was that?
That was 2014. Yeah,
So weed
2000.
was
Mm.
in like legal yet, like recreational.
Oh yeah, no, it was still like in this weird gray area where like if Prop 215 was voted on, and it's an initiative by the people of California to allow medical cannabis for medical patients. So it was kind
Mhm.
of like this loophole where you could basically doctors they were real doctors.
Doctors.
It's basically like a Ponzi scheme that these guys created sell these recreational medical cards to anybody who wanted one, right? So you could just
Yeah.
I mean, me for instance, I'd walk in there. I'm a normal guy. I'm pretty healthy. I don't have any ailments, thankfully. Knock on wood.
Mhm.
You know, you walk in there and like, oh man, I'm having problems sleeping, or my back hurts, or you know, I'm an insomniac. Like those are basically the main, you know, I have an eating disorder sometimes too, is another
Yeah.
one people say. But like, then they're like, all right, and they write a couple things, and you pay your $100, and you got a card, and that basically says I can grow up to 99 plants, and I can, if I grow those plants, I can bring them to a dispensary and sell them to patients legally.
Mm.
But the cops could still, you know, you get caught with trafficking or anything like that, they're going to take whatever you have, whether it be the product or the money. More often they would steal the money,
Or both.
or both. Yeah, most of the time, if you got both on you at the same time, you're a rookie.
That's true. And what they'll be like, if this is a federal case, because they
Right.
can't arrest you on California laws because it's legal.
Yeah, but federal actually still can't, even though it's legal now. You can still, you know, because I work in the legal space, you still can't. If you get caught by a federal agent, it's still federally illegal, classified worse than methamphetamine,
Oh.
cocaine. It's actually a schedule. I think it's Schedule 2, or it's the same as methamphetamine.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, it's considered in the eyes of our government the same as methamphetamine or cocaine or crack or any of that kind of stuff, which is absolutely insane. I mean, it's just absolutely insane, and it's sad that
Crazy.
people are afraid of it because of all these propaganda and everything that's been put out in the world. You know, back in the day by, you know, William Randolph Hearst, who owned all these paper mills, right? So he owned all the
Mhm.
paper mills, so he could print whatever he wanted on the paper. You know, like the newspaper that goes out to everybody. So he was afraid because hemp was going to take over and tear down his empire he built off of paper, because hemp was stronger. It was just, you can make more things out of it. It was more abundant. It was cheaper to grow. So he put out all these propaganda slandering it, saying like, you know, it made people crazy, and it made, you know, it was just like all this super propaganda against, you know, marijuana. Marijuana is not even a real. He made the word up to make people scared of it.
Yeah.
What's
You know?
the what's the name before it became like marijuana?
It's cannabis.
Cannabis.
It's cannabis. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So,
people
yeah.
started calling it marijuana. Marijuana is like a Mexican word.
Mexican
Yeah.
word
So yeah, he kind of linked it to the Mexicans. I know.
for narcos.
Yeah, and like created like this whole xenophobia thing too. So it's kind of fucked up. Really
People
fucked
are
up.
still
'Cause
terrified.
like that thing just, it made weed all over the world hated, not just in the United States, but like the whole world. And it's really nice to see like a lot of countries beside the United States are starting to open up their minds about cannabis, starting to legalize it. You know, in Asia we got Thailand, a few other countries
And we don't have
that
the
are open to it.
Philippines.
Philippines is next. I
Yeah, man.
I actually
gotta legalize
I
that
actually
shit.
can't say anything because I don't smoke weed. Haven't tried. Not at all. Haven't tried. So yeah.
There's always a first time for everything. Well, you have to come
Yeah.
out.
There's always a first time for everything. Yeah, you're
You just
right.
gotta come out
Yeah.
and take a
Let's smoke in
dab
the
of
van.
it.
Let's smoke out in the van. Come out to Cali.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll take care of you.
Fetch me here tomorrow. We'll go tomorrow, okay?
Yeah, come on out.
Take
Flights
the
Flights are cheap
first
right now.
flight in the morning.
Flights are
I'll
cheap.
come. Yeah.
Come on out.
Flights are cheap now. You're right. Correct.
I'll be in LA next week. Come on
Okay.
out.
Yeah, okay.
Hey.
Okay.
We'll pick you up.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm trying to do this whole sober October thing, so I haven't smoked weed in like a week.
Oh
It's
man.
it's pretty chill because you know how when you like smoke weed every day, you really don't remember your dreams. You know, you like knock
Oh, yeah.
out and you wake up and that's it. Like I feel like it's been 10 years since I've like remembered my dream, but It's been a week now without weed, and I've been starting to get nightmares, bro.
Oh,
Like, yeah, nightmares, and my nightmares are really funny. It's always like me being late to work, and like I wake up, I'm like, God damn, my heart is racing. I'm like, fuck, I'm late for work, and I wake up, and it's like 5 hours before work. I'm like, God damn.
oh my gosh. Is that your worst nightmare? Is that you're
Yeah,
being late for work? I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah, it's
That
funny.
was me this morning when you called me, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm not. I gotta go."
You know what? You know what's the solution for that, eh? The
What?
solution for that is do the van life. You won't be late for work.
True,
That's
Every
for
day will be
sure.
every day will be a dream. You do that, you know.
true.
You
Something
dream
I
it
really
all.
want to do too. It's pretty cool. Well, it's better than buying like. Well, I wouldn't say better. To each his own, but um, some people would buy like $70,000 cars, and their parents would get mad. They'd be like, "You can't live in your car." But this guy buys a car and he legit lives in his car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. It's an investment, right? Like it's just an investment, and ultimately, what you put your money into is it's important to think about. Like, I paid for this van. I mean, I had saved silver and gold for a while just because I have my own opinions about the banks and the government and what they do with our money out here. But I just been saving it since I was a kid, like 17, 18 years old, just collecting coins and silver bars and things. Whenever I got,
Oh.
I would always invest a little bit into that. Like I would always take like a quarter of my paycheck and I'd buy silver just to stack it.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Really?
really, I paid for most of the van with my savings from that over like 10 years of savings.
Wow.
Of like
10
silver and
years.
gold?
Yeah,
Gold and
yeah,
silver for 10 years?
yeah,
So
like a pirate.
you're basically hoarding gold and silver.
I
Like a
was. I don't
Viking.
have as much
Like
as
a
I did
Viking.
before. I had a
Has
lot.
Viking blood in him, bro.
Yeah.
The pirate,
Anyway,
right?
I have a question, Matt.
What's
What's the difference between setting up a van and an RV?
I would say it's space, right? A lot of the thing is the space you
Yeah,
have to work
yeah, but
with.
would you consider an RV like van life as well?
I think the van life has a lot more to do with like RVing is about being comfortable, right? It's way more
Mhm.
about like convenience and having like your
Mm.
home.
Mm.
Where the van's not really about being in the van. The van is about being someplace and going outside all day and then having
Oh.
back and not having to like set up camp and not having to
Mm.
just like put your bed together, make some food, and go to sleep. But
Mm.
kind of like you're more like a relaxing, like we're like on a family. It's more of like it's the centerpiece, right? You're kind of in that thing, where the van's more of like get out and go outside and do something outside all day, and then
Ah.
you don't have to set up camp when you get back because most of the climbing places you go to you can't camp there because it's usually in national parks or things like that. So they'll kick you out. So you have to usually go climb and then drive out to what we call BLM, which is a Bureau of Land Management land. So it's like public land. So you could park there and camp or stay as long as you want because it's public land.
It's public,
Oh.
So
yeah.
yeah, I'd say
So
that's
have
probably
you
the biggest
have
difference.
you ever had like parking problems where people give you shit for parking like anywhere?
I have. I did one time in Montrose actually. We parked
Really?
probably like a few blocks down into the neighbor. You know where Danielle lives and her family.
Mhm.
It's like on the main street. But if you go in, there's like a nice neighborhood, and
Mhm.
it's like quiet. So we had a couple spots in there because we were living down there, and sometimes we just want a little privacy and go drive down one of those roads and find a little spot to park. And we parked. We went too deep to the too nice of a part, right? And about I'd say 1:30 in the morning, you just hear on the side of the van like that,
Oh fuck.
boom, 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 super loud, and it's like anybody in there, anybody, and they're like, oh fuck, and come out and there's fucking cop with flashlights and face, and you know, I'm like super tired, like coming out, like, oh, sorry, I have my shirt off, you know, I'm like, oh, give me a second, and put my stuff on, and I like come out with my, you know, my hands up, because I'm like, I don't know if what this guy's on, or what, you know, if he's gonna be on a trip or whatever, and you know, I come out and I'm like, hey, how's it going? You know, how's it going? It's like you're not allowed to squat here. It's like, okay. He's like, you have your IDs? He's like, is there anybody else in there? You know, give him my ID, give him Danielle's ID, and one cop's like super, you know, super. He's just being a dick, and the other guy's being like super chill. He's like, what's up? You got a bathroom in the van? What's up? He's like, well, you guys can't stay here. So I'm like, we weren't even bothering. We didn't litter. We didn't make any noise. We, you know, it was just literally somebody saw a van in their neighborhood and was like, oh my God, there's a van here. Somebody, oh, they're gonna
steal more kids. Karens, bro. What?
Why are you here? I just need a place to sleep, lady. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking called the cops on you guys. What the fuck?
I'm trying to think if there were any other instances where I had an issue. I think that was really it. That was the only time we, you know, when you overland, right? That's what they call van, like when you're overlanding because you're sleeping over land. That's what they call it. When you're looking for spots like that, you always kind of want to find the middle ground of a neighborhood. You don't want to go to too nice of a neighborhood, because then you get those kind of people who are like watching and they're just at home retired and they're like, what's going on outside? I gotta watch my neighbors.
Get all the Karens there.
Kevin's and Karens, yeah. You don't want to go too bad of a neighborhood, right? Because if you go too bad, then you might get broken into, or somebody, you know, it can be bad news. You gotta find that like middle ground, blue collar. People are getting up, going to work in the morning, not really like, you know, you got to fly under the radar. And that's why this van, it's like fully white. Like I don't have any stickers on it. I don't have any like anything that really indicates that it's a van that someone lives in, other than if you look at the solar panels on top and the little like vent that pops up. But if you don't see that stuff, it just looks like a work van. It just looks like a normal work van that somebody would park, you know, use for deliveries.
And it doesn't have that like windows on the side, right? Like where you at right now?
It does not. It has like, if you see these like tapestries in the back, those are actually, here I can show you. Those are actually windows behind here, as you can see.
Oh, okay.
These we made. They have magnets in them, so they hold onto the van. And then there's this stuff called Thinsulate, which is like a little insulation, it's probably like that thick, and it's insulation. So you basically just sewed those together and put the magnets in, and you cover the window so that it keeps the heat down, like you were asking about. If I don't have those on, the heat it just radiates through. You know,
nice.
But eventually we're gonna cut another. As you can see, this like door over here where there's this kind of like stuff. We're gonna cut a window right there at some point. It's the last thing we got to do eventually, but it wasn't a necessity, so we put it on hold.
Just wait for it.
Yeah, you know, it's like,
isn't that where the door is though?
Yeah. That is where the door is. Yeah, you can see it. Actually, I haven't even gone outside yet. It's that early here. You can see the door open up. It's
still dark. Is it?
It is
still dark. Still dark.
Yep.
Oh.
Still dark. But it's bright in here, right? Yeah. All my you can see the lights too. You can turn the lights on and off with the switches on the side here.
Ooh, cool.
Nice.
A lot of people really like this custom print too, like how we did this backsplash here on this.
It's beautiful, yeah.
It's all custom that we did all those pieces, and I built these little boxes up here to like store little things in, like your phone at night and stuff.
When you got those planks of wood, was it like already painted purple, or did you guys paint it yourselves?
They were blank this slots of wood that were, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen those sectional ones that like you kind of have to like pinch, they go together and then they fold in like that kind of, they lock. They were just cedar. They were just like, you know, they just looked like regular wood. So then I had to do probably about 3 coats of paint on every single one that you see, and white base first. So like, I mean, you can see the whole ceiling. It goes all the way behind me, and that whole wall over there too. So, I mean, it took me probably just 3 or 4 days just to get the planks primed. And then, you know, it's still not perfect. I actually still need to finish it because it was so hard to get the paint right. And then where my parents live, it gets windy and it's really dusty. So like you paint in the morning, you try to get it done, and then by the afternoon it's covered in dirt and you got to sand it and do it again. So that was fun. And then this whole jigsaw that you see up here was like, that was a process because we had to like cut all the pieces and measurements first, and then once we cut all the pieces, right, we had to color them, and then take them and cut all the pieces, and then organize the colors again so the splash looked, you know, uniform in some way, but also different with the colors. And then also there's not like, you see all these screws and stuff up here, like this joint. Where am I pointing at? Not that one. Is it that one? No, I'm going backwards. Sorry, guys. Like, oh god, it's reverse on the thing. There it is. That one.
There you go.
So
Okay.
yeah, there's a line, and there's two pretty close together right here, right? So every place you see that there's not an actual joint, we had to cut little pieces to joint them together above so we could screw into them from the other, you know, the main beams, because there's only a few main like beams in here to build off of. So
So like the walls, all those planks, are they nailed onto the van, or how are they nailed onto the walls?
So behind each of these, if you can see, it's probably easier to tell. Like, you see how there's a straight line of screws behind me, right? So behind the wall here, there's like, in a van when it's bare, there's all kinds of little holes in it. And if you get these special kind of screws, I'm blanking on the name right now, but there's a special kind of bolt that you have to get where you take it and you have to hammer everyone in. So we had to probably put like 300 or 400 of those in. You have to hammer it, and then you have to take a special little like wrench tool and an impact driver and just hammer this thing in so it would go in, and then it would expand behind. And then you have a place where you can screw into. So then we put all the ribs of the van, which are kind of like the building blocks behind, and those are the foundations. So there's like probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different places where it like actually connects to a piece of solid wood, which connects to the van. If that makes sense.
So those beams, how did you stick it to the wall of the van?
We just screwed them
nailed,
in.
or is it...
No, they're screwed in. They're screwed. They're like, they're bolted with screws. Yeah.
And
no
it doesn't
nails.
go through like the front of the van, like on the outside?
No, we had to do like special measurements and stuff like that, and certain screws you just cut or get the right size screws. So it definitely you have to like, what my buddy always say, measure twice, cut once, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise you have a lot of
Otherwise you
pieces
gotta buy shit.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No, we didn't have any accidents like that, thankfully. Trying to think if we had any big catastrophes. It really wasn't that much. Everything went pretty smooth.
What was the hardest thing to do on the build?
Oh, wait for it to be done. No, I'm just kidding.
That's hard.
I would say the hardest part, oh man, there were so many hard parts. I'd say my least favorite part was probably the spray installation, because it was at the very beginning and I had no clue what we were doing, and it just seemed like it was an endless task, because you just got this little, this little air gun and you're just going and had to do every inch of the van, every door. We had to like tape and do all this crazy, like, you know, like they do at an auto body shop. You got to tape everything off and make sure you don't miss, and filling it back dirty, and it was just a pain in the ass. But I'd say that was probably my least favorite part, was doing all the insulation. Yeah.
Was the insulation put in before the beans?
Yes, insulation is the first step of the process, and you do the insulation, and then after the insulation, then you lay your floor, and then we built the garage, and then we were actually able to sleep on top of the garage for a little while. We were just sleeping on the floor there. Then after the garage got done, then we put the floors on. Then we built the bed, and the bathroom, because those were the most essential things. Obviously, to sleep in the van and be able to use the restroom, I could use water outside, or use a sink inside somewhere if I needed to. But then it was the kitchen after that, and then after we put the kitchen in, then you do all the planks of wood, and then it was done. So,
Nice. Pretty cool.
6 months
later. 6 months later.
Yeah.
I want to talk about psychedelics.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do it.
So, what's your experience with psychedelics? Or your wildest experience?
Wildest experience. Oh my gosh. Well, I've had a few. Let's think. I mean, we were talking about DMT the other day, right?
Yeah.
The biggest trip I've ever had. I've had some crazy mushroom trips, but I'd say that DMT trip, I think the worst trips, or the trips that are like the craziest, always come when you're not prepared for what you're about to experience, right? So like, I was a 18-year-old kid. I had done, smoked weed. I had, done Molly a few times, like a, fun party. I thought I was like, I could do whatever. I'm like freaking, Johnny Depp and what's that show? Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I could do whatever. But I would say that I went over. Okay, so I went over to a friend's house to get some weed, and I was hanging out, and he had some guys over. They always had friends over. They're always smoking weed, doing stuff. So I walk in with my buddy. They're kind of, guys are like, look faded on the couch. It's normal, right? The guy sells weed. Mm-hmm. People come over to smoke weed. People are just high. Mm-hmm. So I go in. We're getting the weed. It's kind of just a little bit of a weird vibe. And then the guys are all talking like, yeah, dude, we're all just doing DMT. And I was like, oh, cool. And then when I look at one of the guys, and he's just like this, like out, like. He's like there, but he's gone, right? And he comes back and he's like, I was on a beach with my dead dad, like in a hot tub with snow around on the beach. We were in a hot tub drinking beers, and it was crazy. And I was like, whoa, like that's like, I don't know about that. Like, I'm a young kid. I had just started smoking weed. I didn't smoke weed till I was 18. I didn't drink till I was a military kid. My parents were super strict, so I never really got to go out or do any of those things as a kid. So they asked me if I want to try it, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I just want to smoke. I'm smoking weed. I don't want to try anything crazy like that. So I'm like, cool. I want to smoke a little bit before I left. You usually always like pack me a little bowl of smoke before you leave. And I smoked the bowl, and then I just felt a little weird after, right? I just felt a little funny. My hands felt a little off. I wasn't like fully going anywhere yet, but I felt a little weird, and I was like, hey man, like, were you guys smoking that stuff out of this bong? And he was like, oh my God, yeah, we were. I'm so sorry. Like, we were totally smoking DMT. Like, you want to try some now? Like, you might as well just try it now. Like, you've already tried it. My stupid ass, like, oh yeah, fuck it. I already tried it. Let's go for it. Yeah, pack that up. So he packs this stuff in this bong. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with like where DMT comes from, but it comes from tree bark, right? So it's just like this weird yellow looking powder that smells horrible. It smells like burnt rubber. Mm-hmm. And you basically have to smoke it without water, right? It's water soluble. So if you smoke it with water, it won't get the full effect. So they packed me this bowl, a normal hit, So I hit this thing, right? And they're like, hold it in as long as you can. So like I'm hitting this bong and I'm sitting in the middle of the room. Everyone's around me. Music's on. They've got like this, like, you know, they've got this music going. I'll wait to drop what kind of music it was until I get to the part that becomes important. But this is what I remember. I hit the bong. I let it out. My buddy grabs the bong. I take the lighter and I throw it. And I remember it feeling like a grain of sand leaving my fingers. And as the lighter left, my arm snaps back into my body. My other arm goes into my body. My legs go into my body. I explode and come back together. And at that point, I'm watching in third person above above the ceiling fan. So I'm looking down at myself. And I'm like sitting there like this, you know, like, what the fuck is going on? Like in my head, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it was wrapped back into my body. And I'm sitting there like, I can't stop saying like, this isn't good. This isn't good. Because I'm like not ready for what I'm about to experience because I wasn't mentally prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I'm sitting there and then all of a sudden I hear the music then. And it's like this like German techno dub, like like rock, like but
Probably like Ramstein, bro.
concert, dude. It feels like I'm at a rock concert, and every time the bass hits, it changes the lights in the room. And I'm like sitting there, and it wasn't loud at all. It's like quieter than we're talking right now. The music was on low, but it felt like I was at a full-on rock concert. I was like, my sweatshirt I was wearing had like electric shocks going through it, and I just remember like I didn't let go. Right, that's the point of doing drugs like that. Is like you learn that you're not in control. And I tried to control that drug, and it really like took me down a weird place. But it was a good experience for me because I learned that like, you know, if you just got to let go of certain things in order to feel the freedom of that feeling. It's otherwise you're just gonna be fighting an uphill battle with yourself and your internal self.
It's kind of like when you smoke weed the first time and you try to control it, and you start freaking out, start getting scared. What the fuck is happening to me?
Yeah,
almost the same thing then, huh? Yeah, paranoia.
I think this one was maybe a little different because it didn't last as long, right? It was definitely like fear, like real fear. Like weed makes you think too much. That's why people get paranoid. People don't like to think or see themselves as their true selves, because weed like goes, here's where you've been fucking up, and you need to try a little harder. Like we were talking about, you need to try harder here, and you need to actually care about these. Some people go, oh my god, this is like, I don't want to. I don't want to think about how I'm, you know, how I did this to this person, or how I'm, you know. It brings up stuff like that, you know, I feel like you have to work through. Drugs are really good to use if you're working through things because they help you see from a different perspective. But you have to be able to look through that lens and not feel that paranoia, because I've definitely felt
it's really bad.
It can be bad. People have really bad experiences and it makes me sad with cannabis, because with weed it's like it can be so fun. And people can actually have a good time if you don't give them too much, like overdose, right? You can't overdose from weed truly, but you could get too high.
Yeah, especially when you've never had it before. You
like
can't
me.
Smoke a dab off the bat.
Oh, dude, yeah. We could never done. We would give you like, if I start people off, because I'm like, I used to be a bud tender at a dispensary, so like my job used to be literally like figuring out what people were looking for their experience when they would smoke. So I'm like you know, I was like wine sommeliers, like I'm basically like that for weed. Like you could blindfold me and I could smell like 10 different types of weed. I'll probably name 9 out of 10 of them.
What?
Yeah.
Well, how is that now with like so much strains? They come up with so many different names, like you can't keep track anymore.
It's kind of like it's easy in the rec market because there's only people are buying based off of THC percentages, right? So people only really care about getting high. They don't know how much the cannabinoids and the terpenes and all the other things that are in there get you, you know, that add into that. You just keep up with it. There's hot strains and there's certain people and there's really stuff. It's kind of like they go in fads, you know. There's different trends. Like you see it I've seen it basically. I've seen strains being sold for the highest top dollar, and then all of a sudden the cut gets out, like somebody gets the clone out, and then all of a sudden the price just, and then the market's flooded, and everybody has that same strain.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. But I've literally just been, I've been working within cannabis since 2006. So I mean, I've definitely done a lot of research, a lot of R&D research. But I really enjoy it. I like learning about it. It's a really interesting plant. Like, it's probably the most interesting plant in my opinion.
Oh, it is for sure. It is. It's really fun to do your research on weed and smoke it for me. Yeah.
A little R&D. Could I bring a little on the screen? Would that be appropriate, or do you guys?
No, yeah, it's fine. I smoke on the podcast all the time.
I was just gonna say
I'm
I got a little
now.
jar.
Hey.
Just a little bit.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. I brought some stuff.
So you're a rapper. How was it like, or when did you start rapping? When did you start performing, and where did you start performing?
Let's see. I think I started rapping in 2006. Yeah, that's when I started. Right when I first started smoking weed. That's kind of what drove. For real, dude. Like, I started getting high, and it was like listening to songs on the radio, and me and my buddies were just like, we could write something better than this. We could do something better than this. And so we just started like putting beats on, rolling up blunts, and just having fun, writing down, trying to write rhymes. And then it slowly broke away from like writing rhymes into like, okay, we're gonna freestyle. And then, I mean, it just was off from there. I haven't stopped since. My first performance that I did was actually in Arizona in Havasu. It was at this like smoke lounge. There was probably like 40 people there or something like that. A lot of friends, a lot of people like that. It was just kind of small. It was fun. But my second venue that I did was the Roxy in LA on Sunset. I opened up for Devin the Dude. I don't know if you've ever heard of Devin the Dude.
No, I haven't heard it.
It's Snoop Dogg's cousin. He made that song, the Doobie Ashtray. You never heard that song?
No, wait.
No.
Look it up.
You would love that song. Check Doobie Ashtray.
Doobie Ashtray?
Yeah. Super dope song. But yeah, I got paid for that gig. I did 2 songs. I got paid. I got to go on the same stage as like the Beatles and
Wow.
Yeah. The Roxy. That's
Wow.
awesome.
like 200 people. That was probably like the highlight of my rap career, at least at this point.
Wow.
Right?
Pretty fun, yeah.
And now, like, me and my lady make some songs now, and we've done a few other ones where we've done like some open mics and some videos and stuff where we've done fun stuff like that. So it's hard to find the time, and now obviously there's not. You got online platforms, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So how
fun.
did you get the gig at Roxy with Devin?
Friends had paid for the time spot, and one of their buddies dropped out, and they called me, and they're like super happy. It was kind of weird because we weren't all like super close or friends. They just knew who I was through my music, and they hit me up, and they're like, we need somebody to do it. And none of them were very good. No offense to any of them if any of them listen to this, but I was definitely not to toot my own horn here, but I was definitely like leagues ahead of these guys lyrically. Yeah, it was fun, man. I had never had an experience like that, and actually, me and AA went to a show there not too long ago.
Yeah,
that same
Oh.
yeah, with
that
all
was wild.
like 2 years. Yeah, it's probably like almost 2 years ago now. Year and a half. That was a fun show.
That was a fun show, yeah. Pretty wild.
Yeah, it was fun to go back and see the stage, but yeah, man, rap's like, that's like that outlet, you got to have that like creative something to get your, I usually do it when I'm either in not a good place, or I need to like, it usually comes from Usually comes from anger.
Usually
Like
does come away.
being upset, or it's not usually. Freestyling is way more of like I'm in a good vibe. If I'm in a good vibe or like mellow, having fun, like spitting. But like writing shit's like deep. It's way more like freestyling's like scratching the skin a little bit. Like it's fun and it gets you ready for when you write your stuff.
That's
Get-
true.
Yeah.
So when you write
Yeah.
your songs, are you usually like? Because I know when I write songs, like usually you get that well, you want to write songs when you're in a bad place. You're like, fuck, what am I gonna do? There's nothing to do. You're in this bad place, and then you just pick up a pen and paper and you start writing whatever. Is that how that works for you too?
Yeah, it usually just comes out of something like a hard situation, or even like turmoil in the overall, like just the way that I actually have a song that I'm gonna drop pretty soon here with my buddy. It's about the 2020 situation. It's called 2020 Revolution, and it's gonna be
Ooh,
pretty
ooh.
cool. Yeah, I was really
Very
upset.
cool.
I was mad. Yeah, it comes from a lot of the anger. It's a way that I process my negativity, because I'm not a real negative person at my core. Like we all have our negative tendencies, but I really use like that and meditation and just eating the right things and making sure that I'm like taking care of my mental health as well as my physical health, which people don't think about their mental health a lot of the time, being something that they
That's
can
true.
actually
That's true.
do something for. It's like weightlifting, right? It's like, all right, I'm gonna write down some stuff and work out my brain, instead of going like working out the body.
So I'm gonna drop your SoundCloud here in the live chat. Let me
Oh,
just
thank
copy link and so
Yeah.
everybody
So they can check
everybody
it out. Yeah.
watching, you guys check out his music. It's right there.
thank you, thank you. That's awesome.
Perfect. Try to get
Yeah,
your music out in Asia.
thank Yeah, I got a YouTube page too. If you guys want to follow that, I could drop some stuff in there too in a little bit if you guys don't mind. Put the
Yeah,
Instagram.
go, drop it. I know
Yeah.
you have that van life thingy going on too, right? On
Sweet.
YouTube?
Yep.
Yeah.
We got it's the all the Matty 1805, Matty _1 _805 on Instagram, and then it's just Matty 1805 on YouTube. But yeah, we got some cool videos. I do a vegan cooking show too, so we do a little cooking show on it.
Oh.
Hey.
I am
So
vegan. Yes. Vegan. Right? You live in a van and you're a rapper and you're a vegan and you rock climb. That's weird things to do.
So how do you what brought you into the vegan life? Like,
Honestly, my lady was, she's been vegan for like 4 years, and
okay.
I just remember we were friends for like 6 years before we started dating. So we would hang out, and we do music together. She was like an inspiration for that too, because she does a lot of music, and she just started telling me, like, talking to me about the different things that happen with animal cruelty and where the food comes from and what happens to the animals, and just kind of like I was just kind of like looking at myself a little bit as a hypocrite. Sorry, my dog is she's dreaming right now. Can you stop to make noises? I look at my dog and I'd be like, I'm taking care of one animal, but I'm like putting another one on my plate, and they're basically, it's very similar. If you've seen a pig, pigs are smarter than dogs. They're actually like
True.
the third smartest animal, I think. They're one of the like top smartest animals. And a lot of the practices that we have now especially in America and in other countries too, but it's gross. Like the meat and the way that they deal with the way they treat the animals, and the way that the food interacts with your body. I mean, I never thought. I ate meat for 30 years. I was like a meat and cheese, like everything. I was like, I don't want any veggies, like none of that, like just cheese and sugar, and I'll run like all day.
Mhm.
Seriously, like that was it. And then slowly transition. I think the problem and the reason that people get so afraid of being going vegan in that way is they're afraid of losing like flavor or taste. And for me, that wasn't a good enough reason to not to kill animals. It wasn't, and I felt like I could find other ways to create. You know, if you want flavor, you can make flavor. You know, we all know like tofu is like bland as shit and doesn't taste like anything. But you add a little bit of, you know, that make that adobo sauce, and you put some vinegar,
True.
some of that, you know, what is that, the liquid aminos, you know, you put some of that in there and you mix it up. It tastes good, you know. And at that point, it's just a texture thing, right? And then people have got to figure that out. But we're getting really good with the Beyond Meat and the sausages.
Oh
and
yeah,
the cheeses, and all the cashew cheese, all that stuff now is like, honestly, I like it better than the stuff that I used to eat. I don't really crave anything anymore. Like I used to be like, I want
Wow.
a burger, I want to get a milkshake, or I need this. Like I feel like now that I
Wow.
get dairy and meat and all that out, like I literally, I don't even eat honey. Like I don't even eat honey. That's like I'm that deep in it, you know. But
Wow.
feel way
but
better.
I think like one of the first things someone would think about when going vegan would be like, God damn, I want a burger. Like I
Yeah.
can't give up burgers at all, you know. But
Yeah,
there's this one spot here in K Town. It's called Monty's, and they have
fire.
I'd say like the right. You've had it. It's
Fire.
bomb.
Yeah,
It's
dude, yeah,
bomb.
I got a Monty sticker up in the van. Yeah. It's expensive, you know. They're working on getting the pricing down on a lot of this stuff. You know, I invested some money in Beyond Meat just because I believe in it. I've got some stocks and just like as a separate little play, and it's just like I invested in things that I believed in. You know, like I got like Spotify, and like I got a couple like renewable energy sources and things like that, and my stocks have been doing really well based on just investing in things that I believe in and spend my money on the daily. That's how people always ask, like, how do you do that? And I was like, I don't know. I just things that I spend money on. I thought I'd look to see if I could buy stock, and I could, and I bought it. You know, it's like,
So Beyond Meat is public now, huh?
yep, they're trading pretty high
Really?
too.
Really? I'm gonna
Like
look into that.
$150 a share or a stock.
What?
Whatever.
It's
Yeah,
up there now, huh? It's getting there.
it's
It's
going. Yeah,
getting
it's
there.
solid.
Yeah.
They just landed Walmart too, so you'll be able to get in Walmart now. Just crazy.
Really?
Mhm.
Because the
Yeah.
first time I saw Beyond Meat or even heard of it was like 2 or 3 years ago, and you couldn't find that anywhere.
Right? No, you can't. People when they think about being vegan, they just like, oh, you're just gonna eat a salad then, huh? You're just gonna have salad and French fries. It's like, yeah, in LA, there's so many good spots like vegan donuts. You can get. My buddy was just telling me there's a vegan sushi spot down there. There's like fried chicken. You can get burgers. You can get pizza. There's nothing. I don't miss out on anything. You know, that's the problem. That's like the fear of change is the biggest thing, and people and this ideology that we have to eat meat to get protein. You have to eat meat. Where do you get your protein? Where do you get your iron? Where's your B12 come from? All these different things that like you can supplement B12. You can supplement, you know, all these legumes and beans and things have more protein in it than meat, and people don't even know that. You know, eating red meat is comparable or similar to smoking a pack of cigarettes. The carcinogens that are in the red meat, they've done studies on now. And in America, the number one leading killer of people is cardiac arrest and, you know, heart attack. And it comes from these things like red meat and dairy, which thicken your blood and add fat to your body. And it's bad fat. That's where it's coming from. And that's why so many people, I don't know if you guys have ever watched this documentary. It's kind of the one that really cemented it for me was Game Changers, and they go through all like the scientific background, you know, not just the emotional, because being a vegan is about, you know, it's not about the planet as much as it's about the animals, right? It's about being there for people, the voiceless that don't have the chance to stand up and say like, I don't want to be murdered. Please don't kill me. So that's kind of where that came from. Obviously, it's for my own selfish reasons, wanting to be healthier, wanting to live longer, not wanting to spend that money and time later on in life being in a hospital or not, you know, dying early. Like, I'd rather just shift away from it now, because they did a study that showed like these guys that all ate burritos, right? One guy ate a plant-based, the other two ate a meat-based, and then they tested their blood, and then they looked at the guy who ate the plants, and his was really like thin and you could see through it still and it was moving, and then the other two had like a clot of like fat at the top, and it was like very viscous, and you couldn't see through it. It's cloudy, and they were they call it the itis, right? After you eat some food and you get all tired and you're like, oh, I'm
Yeah,
ready to...
yeah. Food coma.
I never feel that way after I eat anymore. Like I feel
Even
like
if you're like stuffed.
I could eat so much more food and not feel that way. Yeah. Never feel tired. Never feel groggy like that after eating. I always feel like I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, do something else.
See, did you do it like gradually or instantly?
Gradually. Very, very gradually. I did like, it was probably over like a 6-month period. I did red meat first. I stopped with red meat, and then I went to chicken, and then I went to dairy, like cheese and milk, and then it was honey, which I don't really eat that much honey, so it's not that big of a deal. But you have to start looking at things as you buy them, because you're like, oh, it has honey in it for flavoring. And then eggs was probably the last one.
Eggs was the last one.
Yeah.
So
it's like
gradually, huh?
It's yeah. People, that's the problem, right? People just jump in. They're like, I'm gonna do this vegan thing, and then they feel like shit because they just like they just jump in cold turkey. Your body needs time to adjust. It has to.
Yeah.
You're changing your gut biome, right? Because we all have this bacteria in the gut. That's what makes you want the food. Your cravings and things come from your gut, and like you have to change it gradually in order to like really sustain it. I feel like doing it that way was the only way. Like you can't really. I don't encourage anyone to just go full bore in, like, and know that you're gonna make mistakes. Like people take it so serious, and even I catch myself sometimes where like I'll buy something and then I'll be like, oh damn it, it has milk in it, or it's got eggs in it, or everything's got milk and eggs in it. If you So I'll be like, shit, and then usually I'll either give it away or I'll eat it, because it's like I'm not gonna waste it. But I don't like to eat it. I don't enjoy those things. And then you learn a little more about like looking at what's in what you eat,
Yeah.
Does it upset your stomach when you accidentally buy something that's not vegan, or nah?
Not for me as much, because I'm a cockroach from Ireland that can eat pretty much anything. Literally anything, that potato salmon.
Okay.
I'm like, I can eat like whatever I want usually and be fine, just because my genetics are like, I feel like I just Irish people live through a lot of bad times with only potatoes and not much to eat. But I know my buddy was talking about it last night. He was saying that he accidentally he ate a piece of bread that had butter on it. His buddy didn't tell him, and he said he felt weird. I definitely know when I'm eating something that's got dairy in it. It's got this feeling to it. It's like thick. It's thicker. It's richer. You can tell it's like it's heavy, right? As opposed to like more of the vegan stuff where it's a little lighter. It doesn't feel as like, like not as bloated. I would say that for sure. That's and that like. Go ahead. Sorry.
Did you lose weight?
No, I stayed right at the same weight. I think I just lost a lot more body fat. Just a lot of body fat. I weigh about like 165 pounds. I'm hovering right around like 9 or 10% body fat.
Okay.
It's not too bad, and I'm not even like working out super hard right now. I get it down a little more, but yeah, everyone's just like, you're really skinny, and I'm just like, oh no, I think you might be like a little bit too fat. Really good. I'm a little cold, but
Yeah. So you maintained weight, but did you start eating more food, or do you still have like the same amount of food?
I think I probably eat the same amount. Probably. I usually don't eat in the morning. I'll wait. I usually have coffee, I have this cold coffee this morning, but coffee. Thankfully, I had that waiting for me. I used to have coffee, and then sometimes I'll have like some bread with hummus or something like that, or just like some nuts, or occasionally I'll make talong. If I'm feeling crazy. But I usually have like a small lunch, or sometimes I have a bigger lunch and a smaller dinner. Sometimes smaller lunch, bigger dinner. It just depends on time. But yeah, that's usually how it goes. I snack more probably during the afternoon, but I don't think I eat more. I'm much more in control of my eating habits. Like like I said, I don't have cravings. I'm not like, oh my God, I gotta go get this. I want that right now. Like it's always just kind of like, okay, what's available? All right, I'm gonna cook some food. Not a big deal.
But that gradual thing was for 6 months. Didn't eat more, didn't eat less. Was the same.
No. I think it was honestly like probably ate less because I was trying to figure out what to eat. Right? You kind of like switch up these habits that you've built for years of like, oh, I've got these comfort foods and these things that make, I could just pull through this drive-through or whatever. I could get whatever. I'm not really a big fast food guy, anyways, but they like. It changes your whole mantra. You have to you usually go to the grocery store and there's this little vegan section like tucked in the back far corner. It's just like there, and you like have like a couple app options, and you're like, but now you go in places and they've got like whole rows, and they've got there's tons of different brands, and you got, if you're in LA, you got so many options. Like there's even more than the Bay Area. Like you've got so many good options for food where like you could take somebody and cook them this food, or make them, go to this restaurant. They wouldn't even tell the difference if you didn't tell them. You wouldn't be able to tell with some of the substitutes.
That's true. I've had like vegan orange chicken.
Yes.
Chinese food. It's pretty. It tastes like chicken.
It's
it's really good. It's bomb.
The other day there's this Thai restaurant here in Lompoc, and we go there and we get the tofu orange chicken, and then the tofu spring rolls, and then the boba Thai tea with the coconut milk. Man, you just adjust it. It tastes anyway. The coconut milk is fire. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta try that. Boba with coconut milk.
Oh yeah.
Sounds interesting.
It's crazy. People, we drink milk. We're the only mammal that drinks another mammal's milk in the whole world. There's not another animal that drinks another animal's milk. Isn't that weird?
Well, if you think of it, yeah, it's really weird. It's kind of like drinking milk from a lactating mom.
It's lactate. If people actually saw what milk was before they made it all pretty and white like that, like, dude, you would never drink it. It's disgusting. It's like pussy and bloody, and it's not good. Plus people don't think about, like, they're like, oh, well, you do dairy farming, right? It doesn't affect any animals. They don't kill animals, but it's not true, because they breed. You have to get the milk from somewhere, right? Milk only comes when someone's pregnant. So they forcefully, they get the cows pregnant against their will. Then as soon as the baby's born, they rip the baby away, and it either goes to veal, or if it's a male, it goes and gets slaughtered right away. If it's a female, then they keep it for milk, and then it goes through that cycle over and over again until it dies, and then that cow goes and gets made into either dog food or whatever else it's going to get killed. But like that's like the misconception with the dairy and the meat industry, is it's like propaganda, and they have an agenda to sell it to you, right? Because America has subsidies for these companies, right? So like milk in reality should be like $10 or $12 a gallon, but since the government gives all these farmers subsidies, it's cheaper for us to buy. Same with food. And that's why whenever you see commercials, you see advertisements, what are they advertising? Cheese and meat. You want to know why? Because there's so much cheese and meat, and it goes bad so fast that they have to figure out a way to sell it all. So it's like a marketing campaign too. It's not just like them doing they're trying to sell you to buy this stuff, and that's kind of why it's sad, because I've seen it. I used to work at one of the places I used to grow allegedly grow cannabis at.
Allegedly.
It was on a ranch, and it's one of like the gnarliest guys in the city who's known for like he's got tons of cattle, and he's an old school rancher. But he would buy sick animals, and I would get there every day, and there'd be a cow laying there, dying, struggling for its life, and then I'd have to basically go into my job and work all day and work in that room, and I'd come out, and the cow would be dead. I saw like multiple, like at least 15 or 20 cows die like that. Just die, come out, and they just be dead. And they're just left there, laying there by themselves, like they don't have anyone helping them. Nothing. Like these guys were just old school dudes doing stuff like people used. We're stuck in these archaic ways of just doing things. Like we can only do things one way. You can't do it a different way because this is how we've done it since we were primitive thousands of years ago. And it's like, well, we should probably think about maybe changing that up a little bit. I was like,
about time, huh?
turn your phone off, turn your Wi-Fi off, go live in a cave, and go kill all your own meat and animals, and see how it goes then.
Oh no, I ain't trying to go back to the past. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Hell no.
So funny.
You got pirates coming in your town, trying to steal everything you have.
Bad news.
I ain't trying to go back.
I mean,
No.
nobody wants to do that.
Hell no.
It's yeah, but it's not as hard. I encourage people, like, even if you're not gonna go vegan, like, do a meatless day a week, or do a couple of days, or try to find little things that you like that you can substitute. Do a little bit, because going vegan, if right now climate change and all that's a huge topic, right?
Mhm.
And people believe it or not. I mean, obviously, I believe in it. That's why I live in a van, and that's why I'm a vegan, or I used to live in a van, because it's eco-friendly. It's like, what can I do to reduce my carbon footprint the most? Well, the things I can do are like try not to like procreate, right? Like creating more people, or like minimizing that as much as possible. Emissions, and then the animals is really like, if you go vegan, it's the biggest contribution you can do to help the planet. Out of all different, even driving a car, even if you stop driving a car, it's more environmental impact if you are eating meat than driving a car every day.
True, that's true.
But it's a hard topic, A lot
Yeah.
of people
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
defensive.
that's why I'm just listening here.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm actually thinking about it.
it's an interesting one, man. It took
Yeah,
me a
it
while to like,
is.
it opens your mind, and you're like, wow, like, because my biggest thing when I always tell people is like, you are what you eat, right? You always hear that from when you're a kid, like, you are what you eat. Be careful what you eat. Well, if you're eating death all the time, what do you think you're going to become? And that's kind of how I looked at it. I was like, well, I'm ingesting these animals' spirits that they didn't want to die, and the end of their life wasn't very positive, and it wasn't good, and there really isn't a humane way to kill something that doesn't want to die, right?
True.
So I just felt like I'm putting that. I'm a spiritual guy. I really believe in like spirits and things like that are like big part of the the earth, and we all have to go somewhere. You're ingesting that stuff into your body's going to absorb it. Like, I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't the right thing to do. And
Well, that's the thing with change, because people have this mindset where like they stick to everything, like religion, and they kind of close off their mind to everything and just stick to what they believe in. So when you're talking to somebody that eats meat and isn't really open to listening about the vegan culture or being vegetarian, kind of like how somebody from a different religion will try to force another person into his religion. They'll be, oh no, that's wrong, that's bad. I grew up on this.
That's why I'm
Your
listening
God is
here.
false.
That's why I'm listening here.
I appreciate you guys even giving me a platform to talk about it, because I really try hard to like shove it down people's
I'm just
throats.
listening here because I'm actually interested in like trying it, like lessen my meat, like lessen my meat. See for myself if I have like any changes in my body or any stuff. You just
See how you feel.
yeah,
If you
see
start
how I
feeling
feel.
better,
Yeah,
yeah.
see how I feel. Yeah, also want to try to lessen my meat. Yeah.
I feel
There-
like it's different as you age because you start feeling all the negative effects of like everything you eat and everything you've been doing your whole life.
yeah.
Likewise, when you were younger, when you were 17, 18, like you really didn't give a fuck about anything. I mean, you
Yeah.
could get
Yeah.
fucked up and go to school or go to work the next day, like
Yeah,
right
you
after.
couldn't like think about being a vegan like if you were 15. No,
No,
did
not
not.
unless you were raised
Yeah.
vegan. But
Yeah,
yeah,
did not.
you'd be like, hell no, I don't want to
Not
eat
the social
broccoli or
part.
spinach,
Yeah.
It's not the
carrots.
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah,
Especially if you're
yeah.
10.
Especially if you're 10.
Sure, sure, sure.
You're
Well, up in
10 and you're
Humboldt, there's a lot.
driving by McDonald's or
Yeah.
Jollibee, like
Hey,
chicken
hey,
joy, or I want me a quarter pounder.
McDonald's is getting gonna have a vegan option soon too.
They are, yeah. The
Actually,
future.
yeah, I think they have already.
They're gonna get a
I think
burger. They're gonna
I
have
think
like a
it's Beyond Meat too, right?
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Starbucks they have like this impossible pie.
Yep.
They call it impossible pie. Yeah,
Oh,
they have it. They
okay.
have it here in Singapore. What's trending here as well is like the Impossible Burger. They call it
Yes.
the
Yep,
Impossible Burger. Yeah,
that's
it
kind of
tastes.
like
Yeah, it actually tastes meat. That's
Yep.
why
yeah,
they call it Impossible Burger, but it's
Impossible Burger,
actually
yeah.
vegan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beyond Burger. The Beyond Burger is very similar in some ways, but I
Hmm.
think I've had them both. If you can try a Beyond, you should try a Beyond Burger when you get a chance to, and compare them because the Beyond one is like it's
I'll
super.
It it's the
I'll try.
Beyond one.
I'll try
Go
the
ahead.
Impossible as well.
It's good
Try it,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Because I know
haven't tried
there's
it.
I'm not sure if it's the Beyond or the Impossible Burger that bleeds.
That's
What?
Beyond. The Beyond has
It's
like
the
it has
Beyond.
like marbling in it. Yeah, they use like
Yeah.
Wow!
a little fat marbling in it, and it's all
Wow!
out of pea protein. You know, 'cause that's
It's
what.
bloody.
Wow!
It's
It's
got
a bloody vegan
Like
it's got
meat.
juicy.
they
Yeah,
use beet juice.
juicy.
Yeah, they use beet
Wow!
juice, so it looks red and it's got a little tender. Yeah,
Wow!
it's
It's called
amazing.
Beyond, right?
Beyond meat,
Beyond Me,
beyond meat. Yeah,
meat. Beyond
yeah.
Meat.
They got
Okay.
sausages. They got ground beef.
Wow.
They've got the burger patties. They've even got other. They've got a ton of stuff. It's amazing. Yeah,
Hmm.
I eat that stuff all the time. Because people always talk about it like it's a bad, all these things are super high processed, right? It's got all this shit in it, and it's like, it's really not that bad, honestly. And if you look at it in that capacity, like, of course, you could read into anything, and it's gonna be just like, oh my god, like there's so much stuff in this. Why I shouldn't eat that? But like, when you're eating the meat, right? People always talk about soy and like, oh, you shouldn't eat soy. It's not good for you, right? It'll make you grow like man boobs and all that stuff, right? You're not you're gonna your estrogen's gonna come out, right?
Yeah. That's what they say.
And also like there's a lot of GMO soy, right? That's like 90% of the stuff that's created is not people shouldn't eat. But where does that
Mhm.
90? It's the biggest crop on the planet other than animals that we harvest. So where do you think that 90% of that bad GMO soy goes? Anybody know? You guys know? It goes to
No.
the animals, to the cows. They feed it to the cows.
Oh.
So all this, the rainforest on fire, all that stuff to create the soybean, right? It all gets fed to the cattle. So we feed, what is it? It's an insane amount of land animals. I think it's like 83 billion or something like that. I forgot, but it's like grossly outweighs people by far. So we can feed all those animals, but we can't feed 8 billion people. And it's just like crazy to me because the cow's just the middleman, or the animal's just the middleman that's taking these nutrients in, when you could just bypass that and you could just get it straight from the source, and you don't have to just like have them process it or have them die,
Mhm.
But like we as people want to control everything, and we like, these animals can't survive without us. They can't do this without us. And it's just like, well, we created this. Like these animals wouldn't even be here if we didn't do this, you know?
Mm.
Or what? One fun thing is if we stop eating them, they'll overpopulate and they'll take over the world.
What a deer for you, dude. That's the worst. Like, hunters are the worst. Hunters and they're like, crazy. Well, I
What's
have
gonna
to
happen if
control
we
the
stop
population.
eating them? Yeah.
It's like, what is a deer gonna break into your house and steal your oh, dude. People are scared of pigs and deer. I'm like, dude, I mean, I get it. If there's like something attacking you or something's trying to like endanger you, like of course, like you're gonna need like if there's a mountain lion or a bear, like I'm not gonna be like, oh hi, Mr. Bear, like you're a cool bear, right? Like I'm a big like that bear don't give a shit. He's gonna eat you fucking right away. Like, but if you're in danger, yeah, like that's you got to protect yourself. But for the most part, animals are scared of you. Like I've walked up on multiple mountain lions and I've seen bear. I've never been super close, but I've been close enough to, you know, hear them run off, and they just run 9 times out of 10.
That's true. That's true. Like yesterday morning, I went on a hike and I seen a coyote, and it'd be running away from everybody. And I'm
Oh,
like, yeah. People
They
are
don't
scared of coyotes too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They come in packs and everything. Yeah.
The packs are where you got to worry a little bit more, but people they'll try to manipulate people to like feed them and do things like that, but they're not as prone to attacking humans, but they take lots of dogs and cats, that's for sure.
True.
Especially down in LA for sure. But,
All right. So we're
Yep.
not gonna keep you for long.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty early. We could get our rest in. I gotta
Yeah.
work in a few hours too.
yeah. Heck yeah.
Well, thank you for being on the show though. Like we had a blast.
Dude,
Thank you.
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for the platform and even
I'll
like
let-
giving me a place
Yeah,
to talk about.
I'll let you
the
know if I'm already a vegan.
We converted you. Heck yeah. No. If you need any tips, let me know. Like I literally
Yeah.
like I make the vegan adobo, the talong, mungo. We were making vegan mungo, you know, all that
Nice.
stuff, dude.
Nice.
Yeah. So we got
The
I got
Filipino stuff.
recipes and tricks and little things that you can do to that you can do for that. I'm gonna drop my Instagram tag in there for people to see if they want to follow me or check me out on Instagram.
Give me a second, Matt. You can, yeah,
Drop your
Yeah,
YouTube too.
you got it. Your YouTube. Oh, wait. Before you drop your YouTube,
Yes.
first.
Sweet.
Okay, try it now.
I'm putting the van life page on real quick, and then I'll
Yep.
put the YouTube. Let me get the YouTube.
Yeah, there you go.
I think my
you can drop your link now.
let me grab that really quick. Grab that. Your channel. But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me, man. This is fun.
Of course.
Thank
No,
you.
we
So glad.
really appreciate the whole story about the van, about the vegan stuff, about the weed, about the weed. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
The rock climbing
We'll
and
see.
everything. It was really cool. We really
Yeah.
appreciate you getting up early, like
Yeah,
getting out of your way.
That's the thing.
I
4
appreciate you
a.m. Yeah,
I
4
appreciate you
a.m.
waking me up for it. It was like, you want to talk about? I lived your nightmare this morning. I was
Well,
dropping the
What was
link to
that?
the
What was the thing in this morning, Matt? The one when we tested the thing.
Which one? What do you?
Yo. No.
Yo, Matty, what? Yeah, my rap name. Yo. If you go to my SoundCloud, there's some funny. I make some funny noises when I rap. It's weird. I do.
So
weird.
guys, we hope that you can like check out Matty's YouTube. Please do subscribe, like all his videos, and share with friends, and click that notification button for you to be updated with Matty's videos. If
And
you
check out his
haven't
SoundCloud.
subscribed to our channel yet, please do so as well. Hit like if you enjoyed today's stream, and hope to see you again next Friday.
For something really.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be
Yes.
fun next Friday.
Heck yeah.
Don't forget to check Matty One SoundCloud. Vibe to his music.
Yeah.
Yeah, check it out if you like the
Check-
lyrical hip hop,
Yeah.
old school.
Or
We're also rapping, Matt. If you didn't know.
Yep,
Yeah, you didn't know.
we're rapping while
We will do a collaboration next time. You three of us rap
let's do it.
yeah.
in the
Yeah,
show,
we can do it.
like a freestyle rap on
I'm
the
down.
show. I'm down. We'll do it now. We'll do it now.
You ready?
Now, yeah. We'll do it now. Like freestyle now. Okay?
Who's got the track? Who's got the track?
We have the track. Okay, we'll do it someday. We'll do
That'd
it
be
We'll do
someday.
it next time.
I'm super down.
We'll do
That'd
it
be
someday.
really fun. Do the cipher. We'll do a little cipher.
To work on something.
Okay,
We'll
guys.
find the
So that's it for us. Hope you enjoyed today's vlog. See you again. Peace out.
beat. Peace out. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.